we are back. Obviously, we're back every week, apart from we're not, which is rare. But we are back. Anyway, Andrea, how are you, mate? How are you getting on? How are things?
Buzzing, absolutely. After Tuesday night, Friday night first, of course,
Friday.
with the win over
Yeah.
West Ham. Good start on the football sphere, Then on Tuesday here in Italy, locally, of course, the big derby, Reggiana against Modena. Modena, top of the league in the second tier in Italy, unbeaten, 6 wins, 3 draws. They got to our place. They lost the unbeaten run.
Cauldron. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. It was a great night on Tuesday night, so I'm absolutely buzzing. But today, as you can see, I'm back at the office, so back to the ordinary.
Back to work, yeah. Back to
Yeah,
reality, yeah.
yeah,
Back to making money and not enjoying
yeah,
sports. But this is football, man. Like, I remember it was a few weeks ago where Leeds lost, and then you went to watch Reggiana, and they
yeah,
lost.
yeah,
What a difference a few weeks can make, and that everyone says it, but it's true, right? Football is, I guess, sport in general is so good like that,
yeah.
where competitive people against other competitive people, anything can happen on the day. That's why I love it. That's why
Absolutely,
I'm
man.
loving this Premier League season, mate. Because for me, I know Arsenal look really good, but apart from that, I think anyone's genuinely beatable. Look at Liverpool, Man City have not been ideal. Obviously, they're coming into form. Even at the bottom, we're all competitive, but we are going to discuss that in a bit. But right now, we'll talk about the game. Just, like we usually do, quick briefing on the game, what we thought. I'll give my thoughts first. Look, I thought it was almost not perfect. What's the word? I think it was executed. The plan was executed really well. I genuinely believe that. The first half was ridiculously good. I just thought without being perfect, to be fair, not ridiculously good. That's probably too strong. I thought it was good. I thought we were very solid. I think what we saw, even though I keep saying this, is still not perfect. Just having that threat of Okafor is a game changer. Again, he goes quiet in games, but you always know at least he'll take his man on. At least he'll make combinations. At least he'll get into the box. That's so important to have. When you have wingers that are simply not goal threats, it's just a bit demoralising, right? But when you have
Yeah,
a player like Okafor, who you just know something could happen, he can get involved. It's really impressive. And I think that brings the team up. I think that gives the team more confidence, knowing they have a player that can genuinely do something out of
yeah, it does.
little. Yeah. And then that ups, Aronson, again, really impressive him this week. This is the frustration. I've always said this. I never give up on players, mate, unless obviously age is an obvious thing. If they're 38, then maybe you
Yeah,
should. If the legs are gone, the legs are gone. But I never give up on players that are, still within their prime, because I think it's a footballer gets to the point they're at because of what they've done. Aronson got to the Premier League because he was very good in Austria. Granted, it's a different league. He showed that he's very good in the Premier League at the start. That doesn't just go. What happens is the pressure, the situation at the club, personality, mentality, the league, the country, that can get hold of a person and they lose their confidence in who they are. And I think, although last year he was decent, I think that performance is what he can do. I think he's shown that before. He showed glimpses at in Germany as well. I watched 1 or 2 games where he showed he could do that. It's
yeah,
just, for me, the thing with Aronson was the consistency, and it always is. And I'm not saying he's found it. I still think there will be that inconsistency. I always say this about him. If he could genuinely find that consistency, I'm not saying he's found the end product, because, I'm not asking for a perfect player. But if he could find that consistency in terms of beating a man, going one-on-one, being aggressive, in duels and stuff like that, it'd be a really good player. And I think that's what Leeds thought they could get consistently. The fact is we didn't. But it's good to see that he's doing that. And yeah, just midfield, we're back on it as well, mate, for me. I thought the midfield were excellent. Ampadu is, again, I'll say this, I think he's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. I
yeah,
genuinely do believe that. He's exceptional every week, almost, in my opinion. Longstaff was back at it. Tanaka came in, I thought was unbelievable. I know you did as well, and we'll discuss that. Yeah, the defence, for me, the Biol stuff, Biol, he kind of played in the way I expected. That's probably what I was expecting to see. Very
yeah,
aggressive defensively, which I like. Positionally quite strong in terms of, always being close to Rodon, having that combination, not easy to play through. Is he an upgrade on Pascal? I think they bring different things. I think that's
Yeah.
clear to see. I do like his playing out from the back. However, we also saw the risk side to that, where he lost it in dangerous areas 1 or 2 times. But we saw the upside to that when he played it into dangerous areas and we got onto the attack. Ins and outs. It is, you can tell he's slow. He will struggle against more direct, quick strikers. But there's a lot of good things there as well. So for me, all the lambasting of Strout for weeks was pointless. I think they're both similar in different ways. I think they both bring different things. And I think they both can be used this season for me. But I don't know what you think, mate, about the game.
No, I don't want to echo you, but I practically think similarly in almost every aspect of the game that you pointed out correctly. You know, especially the lambasting of Straug. People like to have a scapegoat. Piol is not the reason we won, and Straug was not the reason we lost. You know, these two players are both useful, both competitive. They give us, different things, the different perspective from the back. One is more versatile. The other one is more like a classical defender that can help us more in the defensive way because of his body type. On a little duels too, but we saw the risk too with Piol, like we did with Strauk in certain times. So. Like we pointed out last week, I think it was down to mainly structural issues and miscommunication. And again, we saw that unfortunately on the goal with West Ham, because Ampadu lost his man, and Beal doesn't scan the situation, and it's not mainly Beal's fault because it ultimately is Ampadu losing Fernandes. But Beal, is not marking anyone. If you see a player coming near you, follow him because he was not marking anyone. So again, another miscommunication between the midfielders and defenders. And on that, I think I've read also a piece. I don't know if you read it, from Chris McManamy from the Square Ball. I like what he wrote. Essentially that these all the defenders basically offer different things, but one, like Biol coming into the team and Strauk out, it doesn't change the whole picture of the squad. Of course, it's not down to one player if we were having problems, as it is not down to the manager mainly if we had problems in terms of alternatives. And even another thing that you didn't mention, but I want to mention too, because I agree on the midfielders. I agree on the wingers, on Okafor especially, because he was the one giving us the edge, the unpredictability when the ball got on the left side, and Aronson, very improved. We always said that he's a workhorse, because he's a very smart player, also hardworking. Of course, I would like to have in the squad also a different player on that side. Maybe Nyonto when he comes back can be that type of player. But we need to see how his fitness is, But Aronson is very smart because when he has the ball and passes the ball, especially if you look at this movement off the ball, okay, he is more defensive minded in most games because he is the player out of the two wingers that sacrifices his offensive style to help the team when we need to cover, when we need to do the defensive phase. But when he has the ball, 1-2 touches, he only progresses when he has the space, like we did against West Ham. Otherwise, it's really picking up his tempo. One touch, pass, move, and that's what we need. I think the manager is also to praise for that, because I think we've seen certain players that are improving game after game because the formation now suits them. Of course, we're still missing players, the right winger. And another thing that I wanted to point out that you didn't mention, but I've seen, going on around after the game is we were wrong to sit back and attract the pressure. I think people don't realize that we don't have the tools on the bench to play 90 minutes of offensive football like we did in the first half. We don't have them. Remember the Everton game? I said I was on Joe's, on Friday before the game, and we were talking. And apart from me predicting the score correctly, 2-1, Joe, I'm waiting for the prize. Send me the prize. You know my details. I'm joking, of course, but. I said I expect a very similar game compared to the Everton one, and ultimately I think it was very similar. Us really attacking in the first half and in the second half because we don't have the tools, and they had many players: Callum Wilson, Matheus Fernandes, like Guido Rodriguez sitting on the bench. They have a squad. They have a proper squad. They are mid-table, built for mid-table, but they can even challenge for Europe. The problem is they don't have a strong nine. Wilson is not 100%, but Fulkrug is missing. But we don't have the tools to play offensive football like in the first half for 90 minutes because it's always the same players playing. It's always the same players playing because we don't have the proper changes on the bench. And Farke did that correctly because he put ultimately in the final minutes, towards the end of the game, Gruev to help to build the defensive fortress and crowd them in the middle, out of the box, in front of the box. And also the changes, I think Mecha, James, probably needed to happen earlier because DCL, very underrated game. It was probably the most underrated player on the pitch because he helped us a lot to keep the ball up. He challenged off the ball their centre backs a lot and helped us to move the ball to the wingers a lot. But also James, I think Aronson, worked really hard. He was constantly pestering the youth on that side. But he was tired a lot. He was out of energy, out of fuel. I think there were spaces because towards the end of the game, the youth got forward more compared to the rest, to the early stages. I think there was space there for James to maybe on the counter attack to lead us on the counter and maybe score another goal to close and score the third. Because it was really, I remember, because usually me and you talk during the games, it was really stressful to us. I remember, I don't know if it was me or you that said like, not again, not this again, please.
Me, yeah.
Yeah, it was you.
When they scored that goal, I went, no, I can't deal with this. Please.
I can't cope.
Please. But yeah,
I can't speak.
I can't, mate. It was horrible. It was horrible. But yeah, it's strange the whole sitting back thing. It's obvious we are deeper than in the first half, but I don't think there's no product. People acting like it's a surrender thing. It isn't. It's still very structured. I mean, Juve got the ball on the left, and all he tried to do, without even running with it, was cross. That shows their mentality. That shows what they were trying to do. What they did, and this is the difference. We are very workmanlike. We're not individual-based, creative. They are Paqueta. I mean, he can create anything on his day. Let's be honest, he can do anything.
Absolutely.
And he showed moments in the game where he did these crazy flicks, and you're thinking, how does a player do that? We have nothing like that. We have workman players. Every single one of them works extremely hard, and that's shown in the numbers. I think we've covered the third most in the Premier League behind Man City and Arsenal. That shows how much work these guys are putting in every week. Now, the difference between everyone else will play, who are all established Premier League players, apart from obviously teams, apart from Burnley and Sunderland, they've had 2+ years in the Premier League to bring in individual players that can change games. We haven't had time. We've brought in a squad. What we focused on is workmanlike, getting the results, being compact, being structured, and that's working. We can't, like you said, we can't bring on a game changer. We can't bring on a player that's going to up the intensity. We can't bring on a box-to-box midfielder that can drive with the ball when we need to alleviate some pressure. Eventually, these individual players in the Premier League that you play against every week, these top players, they will come to fore. In the last 10 minutes, when everyone's tired, they will turn up. That's where they start to get creative. West Ham changed it because they brought on Potts in midfield and they brought on Fernandes, who they bought for 40-odd million?
Yeah, from Saints.
How can we react to that other than bring on a player to mark aim or be more centre, be more structured in the middle? We bought on Gruev. That's what we've got. We have a Gruev, we have a stack. We don't have a guy who can come on, alleviate pressure in the sense that he can pick the ball up from these deep areas and drive with it. We don't have these players. Everyone else, apart from us and Burnley, do have them. We don't have them. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're bringing players on who can help the structure. We're tired. We've been pressing high and hard for 60 minutes. You cannot do that for 90 minutes. You cannot. It's impossible. Particularly when other teams are bringing on subs that are all game changers, right? You have to find a balance. Now, look, look, it's nervy. I get it. But again, I'm thinking, I think we're relatively comfortable.
Yeah,
I wasn't worried of the crosses. Every one of them.
pragmatic.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the key, mate. They were coming in, and everyone that was in that middle of the box did their job. They got rid of it, apart from the one time, right?
Yeah.
And that's a goal. And that's a little thing. If we are doing this, we have to make sure it's for 90 minutes, because we've seen in the last 10 minutes of games, teams start to win a few more headers. That's tiredness. We have 5 subs. We can't make more. And one thing I will say about this game, people are criticising Farke's changes being too late. We have to remember Okafor went off. He was meant to go off at half-time. That was a risk the manager took, starting him, right? It worked. So I get that. Goodmanson went off injured. We have you have 3 windows to make subs, right? So you can only make one more. So if Farke made one, say, the 65th minute, he's then knowing how tired everyone is, thinking, well, what about if someone pulls up in the 80th minute, right? Then we're playing with 10 men. I get that. So I actually understand in this game why he made them late, because he didn't want to.
True.
You know, like you said, everyone was tired. There's been illness. It was a hard game. Who do we bring on? Everyone's been ill. Everyone's tired. Who can I take off? Who's the least risk? I actually think in the moment he got them right. Like, ideally, I'd have liked Metro on a little earlier. I'd have liked Dan James on a little earlier. But in this game, I understood why he didn't, because he didn't want to leave us exposed for the last 15, 20 minutes without any subs. I get that. Because obviously the Goodmanson one that happened, which isn't ideal. But yeah, I agree in the sense that I don't know what some people expect. If you're expecting this team that, by the way, has ran the most distance by Arsenal and Man City in the entire league, you want them to do more? Given our squad depth and the subs we have, I think that's asking too much. I get it. It is frustrating. It's annoying at times. You get nervous. I was horrid that last 10 minutes. But the fact is, we've got to trust these players to do the job and back them. We have got, like we say every week, Andre, we've got what we've got. That's the fact of it. And they're doing all they can. They're all overperforming, in my opinion.
Exactly, they are overperforming. They are overperforming. You know,
ask for loads more. I think that's too much. If we brought in 1 or 2 in January that can be them game changers in the 60th minute, that can up the intensity, then maybe we can ask questions. But anyway, that's the game. We want to talk about an individual who's getting slack. And people will say, I will say this, but I've criticised Ao Tanaka, who we're talking about this season. I criticised him last season as well. So I do criticise him. I actually said, just start over him earlier on in the season. That's changed now. I thought with him in that midfield, I thought the balance of the squad in that first half particularly, he did tire and he came off. But in that first half particularly, I thought the balance and the control we had with him in there was unbelievable. Honestly, what Stack brings, everyone knows what he can bring. But in games where it's end to end, you need that guy who can just control it, who's always in his position. He's not ran off. He's not running into silly spaces. He's in his position. He's in front of the back 4. He's moving the ball quickly. He's making good decisions. That was Ao Tanaka for me. I just thought we looked so calm and balanced with him in there. I don't know what you think, mate.
Yeah, I agree, and I think you didn't need to explain and underline the fact that you criticized him last season, this season, and praised him, because I think our impartiality and our balance and trying to be, of course, very balanced is not in discussion, because we always praise, criticize. We just analyze and give our opinion, because like you said, we want every player to perform. We want every player to really thrive at Leeds. There's no agendas, nothing. I think it's our impartiality is not in discussion, because I know at least who we are, so I don't think there's any doubts, because I think we came across very well, because what you see on screen is us as individuals, like we are like we are who we are, even off camera. So
well, with less swearing from my part,
yeah. No, on Tanaka, I think honestly, he was the best player on the pitch, honestly, for me in the first half, because it gives us a lot, moved all around, especially when the ball was at the back with Biol, Rodon. They kept passing the ball horizontally, in a certain sense. And Tanaka was always the player that got the build-up running. He moved all around. He, like I said with Aronson, very good reading on the spaces where he needed to be, what he needed to do, move on the right, move on the left. He was everywhere in the first half. He was everywhere. And in the second half, people, I've seen some criticism about him, but in the second half, we were deep. Tanaka did his contribution on the defensive end, probably went under the radar because when we see him praise Tanaka, usually it's because he makes himself visible, in the build-up. That's why we like him, his movement, the way he carried the ball, the way he acts as a filter between the defenders and the offensive players.
Do you know what it is?
He
Just
can even
quickly
get
from memory.
forward. Yeah. Jump in.
Very quickly, sorry. Or I'll
Yeah,
forget.
don't worry. Jump in anytime you want,
Right.
man. Honestly.
Sorry, mate. So you said it there. When this might sound silly, but when Tanaka's playing, he's never quiet.
Exactly.
I think the thing with Stack is he's either really loud in the game and he's doing really well, or he's really quiet and you don't notice him. You always notice Tanaka, right? And that's the balance that I think we're talking about. He's always just doing his job, whereas others are a bit more up and down. He's just consistent. He does his job. Sorry, that's all I want to say. Yeah.
No, exactly. I think it's fair to say, because honestly, the calmness that he has on the ball, it's really mind-boggling, in a certain sense, because it's been quite a while since he started the game, and he had injuries, but he looks so calm, composed. It's honestly a leader. He can leader in the making. Yeah, a leader in the making. He can be, absolutely. He can be a leader in the making. He can grow into a leader, maybe a silent leader, because we know how he is. Especially remember when he cried last season because of the after a game when that we won. I can't remember the game now. It was a crucial one. Can't remember the opponent. I'm sorry, but because of the effort that we put into the game, it was really it gave everything that it even got to him when he realized, like, I give him my everything and now we won. We got where we wanted to be. Maybe after promotion, even I think it was after promotion.
Was it Bristol?
Maybe Bristol. Yeah, Bristol City. It was against Bristol City. Yeah. It was against Bristol City. But yeah, I think it's
time,
yeah, it was around that time. I think Bristol, honestly. But he offers a different type of game, of way to play in the 8 role, because he's a proper 8. Stack is growing. I know we have a keen follower, Harde, 79, he comments every video that we do, so thanks for that. Absolutely. I know he's a big fan of Stack. He really likes him, and he likes to even analyze certain aspects of Stack. And he pointed out, looking at his heat map, when he was in Germany, that he moved like a number 8 in a certain sense for him. But yeah, he moved. But if you look at his games at Hoffenheim, he was basically moving in a similar way to what Ampadu does with us. So it was like there's 6, but not the typical 6 like Calvin Phillips, for example, because his body type is very different. He's not a strong guy, he's very tall, but he's not a strong guy compared to other number 6, like those that we call the bouncers. But he moved off the ball a lot, but mainly 1, 2 long ball, like those kind of play, and on the defensive end, like tackles, but he was staying a lot further back than he was now for Leeds, because we've seen, for example, at Burnley, that if he really opts his position, he doesn't have done the pace to track back against certain opponents, and Tanaka, on the other hand, has, because Tanaka really reads well both situations where he goes higher, remember at all Derby, he also can shoot a lot from outside the box, because he really is like a 8 with the capabilities of a 6, in terms of technique. He can be a double playmaker in a certain sense with his movement. And when we get either the other number 8, in this case Tanaka, and Longstaff, like crowding and going central, try to challenge in the final third, in the opposition final third, like behind Calvert-Lewin. I think Tanaka, when he goes into that position, is very useful, because when we move the ball all around, and by the way, Justin, because I was member in the fullbacks, Justin, very solid when he came on.
Yeah.
Then if we don't beat the man, we have the opportunity to pass the ball to a number 8 that is helping to keep our shape very high and tight up the pitch. And Tanaka is very, very useful there. In the second half, we needed to defend more. So the substitution that we brought on Gruy, I think, was needed, because it was not the best game for Tanaka then, because he was defending well up in the shape, but we needed a more defensive-minded player, in that case. And when he brought on Gruy, I think it was a good sub. I would have brought on Stark, to be fair, but
Yeah, I was
Gruev
going to say that.
was a good sub too, because at least you get a player that knows how to to make his presence felt, in terms of tackles, standing tackles, in under siege. Yeah.
Yeah, I think to try and get in the manager's mind, I think his thinking was a trust Gruev, in the sense that he knows he won't leave his marker, he won't wander off, he'll do his job. So I think that's probably where, in that moment, you need a player you trust to go in there when you're under pressure, under siege. So I think it's maybe that, going back to what he knows, which obviously every manager would. I trust this player. I know what I'll get. And look, he did his job again, as Gruev does most times. He does what he can, and that's his role, and he's good at doing that. That's his role in this team now when everyone's fit, and he's good at doing that role. So I always praise Gruev when I think it's fair, because he comes in and he does his job. Look, obviously there's criticisms when he starts, but again, it's down to role. It's the same with Aronson and Harrison, I guess. A lot of the times when they come off the bench, they come on and do their role quite well. I think we can all say that. When they start, it's a different thing. We want an Okafor to start, we need that. But yeah. So praise to him, and praise to them all, to be fair. It's
absolutely.
The issues for me, mate, obviously it's the structural thing with losing markers is getting a bit frustrating. That seems to be a midfield and a defensive communication thing in certain areas, I believe. Sorry, my phone's dropped. You know what it is, actually? I think it might be, we're so structured and we work so much on structure that when there's a problem with that structure, someone gets drawn out of space, it's almost like we don't know how to react at times and who's marking who.
Yeah.
Because we're that structured that when the structure doesn't look right, people go, oh, who's getting him? And by the time you thought who's getting him, he's scored. I think it might be that. So
Amped and Beal, same situation as that we explained last week. Last week.
Yeah, it was, and that seems to be a thing. A lot of our goals are coming from that. They're not necessarily coming from being torn apart. It's more one player moving out of position or not tracking a runner.
Yeah,
which I guess isn't that bad. I think if you look at it isolated, that's something you can work on. And as you play more in the Premier League, you'll gain that experience and understanding. But for me, mate, just to give a quick overview of how I think the season is, I think every player is playing their part, and that's important for me. Well, not everyone. There's some that we bought that are not even on the bench, but everyone. What I mean, everyone that's playing is kind of playing their part. And that's why I love the thing about Tanaka. Stack was very good at the start when he came in, and that's dropped off recently, which is perfect that we have a player like Tanaka who's come in and done exactly what we needed him to do.
Yeah.
That's great. That's what a team is. And it's the same in defence. Strout came out the side.
Yeah, but
we all came in.
On Tanaka, you have Tanaka to interchange with Stack, but if you need to have if you want to like turn over or like play a different type of player instead of long stuff in certain games, then you have like the backup of stuff Stack now in Tanaka, but there's no other type of that creative, not creative, that quantity midfielder on the bench right now for us, because you have Gruy at number 6, and you don't have another number 8 basically for me. You don't have another number 8 because you have Stack and Tanaka. You can interchange them, but if Longstaff is injured, for example, or Stack is injured, you don't have a substitute for the other number 8, on the bench.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we don't. That's the thing. Like, everyone we've got is doing their job well. I think it's fair. I'm trying to go through names of players that I actually think are underperforming. There's certain aspects of obviously Calvert-Lewin's goal scoring. There's certain aspects of Aronson's, play going forward.
Yeah, Harrison too. Yeah.
Harrison, yeah, maybe when he started he was underperforming, but actually off the bench, I think he's doing all right. So everyone's kind of doing what they need. Okafor's getting into it now. We're starting to see what he can bring. If he can just pray and he can just become more consistent and stay fit and get sharp,
Stay fit. Yeah.
That's a serious player there, I think. Even Metra's coming off the bench with little minutes. He's doing all right. He's battling, he's tussling, he's winning fouls. It's just what we don't have. And that's it. Like you said, that number 8 who can rotate with Longstaff. That
Creative,
other winger. Yeah, that similar winger to Okafor on the other side who can go 1v1,
Yeah.
beat the man, take a shot. That goal-scoring striker that can come off the bench. I know we've got Perot people, but I'm talking about a player who can compete physically as well at this level. But what we've got, I want to credit them because I genuinely, and the manager, although obviously nothing's perfect, for the most part, I think everyone's stepped up that level. Even, you can look behind the scenes with the set pieces, the amount of goals we're scoring from set pieces. That team of set piece people now have stepped up their level and it's working really well. We just, in my opinion, need backup in January, 1 or 2 players that can help alleviate pressure, can help create a little more. Because I've seen people talk about Aaronson's chance creation and how it's, I believe, 3rd in the Premier League or something. Mm-hmm. Now, this is the thing. There's been a creator and there's been creative. Aaronson is creative because his movement's really good. So he'll always pick the ball up in creative areas beyond the midfield and between the defence, always. And he turns and he's direct. He's created there because of his movement. But he's not a creator. He won't get assists from that. He won't get goals from that. You know what I mean? So he's creating the chances because of his movement, not necessarily individual play, more of his movement and receiving in good areas. But he's not creating chances that are leading to assists or key passes or goals. We need that profile. I know we say this every week, mate, but we seriously need that profile. And,
Absolutely.
I know people won't like this, but talking about other teams that came up that seemingly got every profile they needed. And like I said, we talk about Leeds, but I love recruitment. Andrea loves it as well. I love scouting. I love all that stuff. So I like looking at how squads are built. And I can't help but look at Sunderland and just go, that squad is built really well. They've brought in experience. They brought in some raw talent.
Competition.
Brought in, good competition, goal scorers. I'm looking through the team now. Xhaka is... People told us he's washed without even watching him last season. He was so good last year.
Like they did with Anderson, man. Like they did with Anderson. Remember?
He was also very good.
Yeah.
This is the thing, man. Like people saying, respect their opinions, of course, but just saying they overpaid for Diarra and Siddiqui. Doesn't look like it.
No.
And I just urge people, before you say this and that, watch the player. Even if that's highlights package, you can kind of see, it's not perfect, but you can kind of see what tempo the player plays at, the decision-making process through highlights. You can see how quickly they make decisions. And just looking through their squad now, what do you think? I think it's their recruitment and what they've done this year. I have to applaud it. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, we have to, honestly. And honestly, if we said like Sunderland are a serious side back in August, and there were other people, even in the space, especially space. When I say space, of course, the people listening, I mean the community, like you said, Loki. Everyone is entitled to have his opinion, but to write off Sunderland based on the fact that we are a bigger club than them, I think that was their main motive, because they said, "Oh, we are Leeds, we can attract players." It doesn't work like that anymore. The players really need to buy into a project, and there's one big difference between us and them. We are overperforming. I think they are overperforming too, but they are really a mid-table side, and they are built like they are trying to follow the trail, that Forest embarked on, the journey the Nottingham Forest embarked on when they went up. And they have one big difference. We decided to trust Adam Underwood in his first season as director of football, and they decided to entrust and appoint Florent Gisulfi, former director of football at Lens, at Nice, and at AS Roma last season. So he has tons of experience. He's very well connected, great relationship with the French owner as well. Thierry Louis Dreyfus at Sunderland with the French manager Régis Lebris.
Yeah.
And of course, he knows how to move. They have they gave me the tools and the money to expand, and they know that by finishing, I think they finished 6 or 5 last season in the championship when we went up.
Finish fourth.
Fourth, yeah, fourth. So they were many points behind us and Burnley, of course. And people said we don't need to care about them in August because they finished fourth. There's a transfer window. That's why you have a transfer window. They know as a club. They knew as a club that they were behind in terms of squad quality than us compared to us last season, but they knew straight away they had ground to make up, and that's why they signed all the players that they signed, like Sadiki, very promising player. Like we mentioned him, in the scouting report before they went in for him. Same as like you mentioned him, Diarra. Like you remember when we did the scouting report for Strasbourg, they signed Gertruida, Mukiele. Broadway, another one of your favorites, mentioned many times in the past by you. And they retained all the good players that they had. I think they made a perfect business, perfect kind of transfer business by selling Joe Bellingham. That was the masterpiece, honestly, because Joe Bellingham, he was a good player in the championship, yes, but was he a top player in the championship? I don't think he was the player. And now you see that at Borussia Dortmund, how much they got for him? 40 million, I think. And
around, I think.
Yeah, I need to bring in my glasses. Sorry, but yeah, I look at the players. 30 million euros. So I think it's around 35. 25 in terms of pounds. But if you go up and watch the players that they sign, of course, there's Gertruida, Masuaku, experience again. Reinildo, very experienced, played in La Liga. Alderete, another experience.
La Liga.
Yeah, Talbi, very promising.
France.
Yeah, good mix. You have good young players. Of course, not teenagers. But like Diarra, Adingra, another player that knew the league. Lefe, that people said when they signed him, last season. Oh, is he better than Aronson? Is he better than Pirot? They signed him from Roma. It didn't work out for him there, but at Ron, at Lorient, it was amazing. It was amazing, and he's still 25 now. Coming into the crossroads of his career, so he made a good career choice to move there. Talbi, young, Sadiki, young, and the experienced one, then Xhaka, Mukiele, Alderete, and the keeper, they absolutely nailed the keeper, Rufs, Bertrand Traoré, already playing the Premier League with Aston Villa. They can afford to leave Brian Broadway on the bench. They can afford to leave Brian Broadway on the bench. That tells you everything you need to know, honestly. So great business, and people laugh at me, when I was on Joe's like 2 weeks ago, and I said, I think Sunderland can realistically get Europe, and people were laughing. I said, "No, I'm serious. They can get you. Look at the level of that squad. That's not a squad for a side that just wants to avoid relegation. They have depth all around. They have depth all around the squad. So fair play to them. To be fair, absolutely. I think we expected it because we knew what these players were capable of.
Yeah. No, that's it, mate. And it was frustrating when I do a video on Diarra as one of the players, and then we get linked with him, goes to Sunderland. Then you speak about Sadiki on Joe's, and literally a day or two later, we're linked with him, goes to Sunderland. And then they sign Xhaka, and you're thinking, wow, that midfield with them three, not even adding the others in there, that they've already got at the club, is a joke. What a midfield that is. And then obviously, signing players from PSG, Gertruida. What a sight. I could not believe that one. That is for a newly promoted team to get Gertruida in. That is, I had to, and then at the end, obviously, they're bringing in my guy, Brian Broby, who came on and got an assist. Again, he's slow start, but he's coming into it now, which is annoying. But they bought what they needed in every position. I think that's the key thing. We kind of didn't. Look, if there is financial restraints, fine. But then again, I'm just looking at the fact that, now, for 5 million, isn't even making the bench, and there's talk of him leaving. The fact that we kind of failed to move on, Meslier is frustrating. A few players like that, that's a frustrating side of it. We didn't move on the players for me.
And apart from the signings, there's also another thing. They kept Ballard, Daniel, Chris
Yeah.
Frick, Isidore, Mayenda, uh, Mandel. Interesting players. In the end, they kept the players that they saw, and I think all of us can agree. Could agree back then on the fact that Isidore, very good eye ceiling, ready for the Premier League. Mayenda as well. Daniel, always very reliable. Chris Rigg, another very good, promising player. And Dan Ballard, solid physical, ready for the Premier League. Trey Hume, O'Nien, still a good veteran, for them. Been there for ages now, since the second season of Sunderland till I die. So yeah, good mix of veterans on the market, young players, and a good core of players that they retained from last season. The ones that were ready for the Premier League. All the others, they moved them away, they sold them, they loaned them out. And that's, like you were mentioning, we didn't. Managed to, like Melier, to sell him, and there's other players that are on the fringes now of the squad that probably we could have tried to get them a destination, to get them a solution, and bring in other players, like they did.
Yeah, and this is it. Like, as you mentioned before about the recruitment, from what I've experienced, it's always about having a plan. It's having a vision. It's having an understanding. And look, Leeds did. I'm not saying we didn't, by the way. Like I say, I like the players
same.
Yeah, I think they're really good. We just believe, whether that's, I don't know the reasons behind it. We don't work for the club, but I just believe we needed one or two more creative players. But their clear vision was, obviously, like you said, with the owners, the director of football, the manager, Lebré, is French or French-speaking players. That's what they went with. That's what they wanted. They wanted that cohort of players who understand each other, can speak the same language, can communicate. And obviously, the statistical side of it, finding players that are actually good. You're not just going to sign players that can speak French. But if we go through the players they signed, Diarra, obviously French, speaks French, is French, plays in France. Adingra, I believe he's French-speaking.
Yeah, Ivory Coast. Yeah, I was just
Coast.
thinking, with all those French-speaking players, they can get Liam Rosinier next season if they want to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he speaks French,
Good
Il parle français.
Yeah, that's it, man. Get anyone in. But yeah, Lefay,
Adingra,
obviously,
Lefay.
Brian
Joking, of
Broby, I
course.
don't think he speaks French, but Talby as well, obviously playing in Belgium. Sadiki as well,
Sadiq,
playing in
yeah.
Belgium, French speaking. I can never say his name.
Mukele, yeah.
Mekele, yeah.
Mukele.
Mekele.
Nordi, yeah.
French,
Traore.
again, yeah. Traore. There's
Masuaku.
loads. Masuaku, the experienced one. Again, we can look down there. The players have already got. There's so many French speakers that's what their clear recruitment process was. From the down up, from the owners to the manager to the players, that French core is there. And this is why in the summer, I was saying, I'd love it if we would just explore the Bundesliga more.
Yeah, absolutely.
What we have in Farke, and people, so much disrespect, he is very, very widely liked within Germany. There's this narrative that he isn't. I don't know where it comes from. Like, there was a thing the other day, I think Isaac Johnson did a piece where, Pep called him asking for advice on coaching about playing Arsenal. And Farke had a go at him and said, "Why are you telling me? You don't have to ask me for advice." And Pep's going, "I need your advice." Farke is so respected within Germany. He really is. Jurgen Klopp, Tuchel, obviously Pep. These guys like him. They respect him a lot. They speak to him. They're friends with him because he's a very wise and professional guy who knows what he's doing. People don't like to hear that. He was a director of football before he became a coach. He was at Dortmund. He got a lot of contacts and a lot of players at Dortmund. When he first arrived in England, it was tainted by the horrible squad he had at Norwich in the Premier League. So use that, in my opinion. Use that. Go to the Bundesliga. You can convince players. I mean, look at Amiri. Farke convinced Amiri. Obviously, his family didn't want to come, but he convinced the player. He spoke with him. He got him over on the plane. He got him to the training ground or whatever. Look how well he's doing now, by the way. This was a player that he convinced. He speak to Lucas Perry, all them people, Gvardiol. They all mention speaking to the manager, speaking to Farke. You need to get a co-op players. This is why the players like Demirovic, Majer, Players like that, who I'm going,
Yeah,
there's so many that even
Eggestein,
this team, yeah, I'm thinking, could that not be
Damu,
that?
yeah.
Like
No,
Stack is a good
Cham.
example of that, right? Got him from the
Yeah.
Bundesliga, probably a high quality player who was linked to, I believe, Man United last January. You know, whether that's good or not. But my point being, played for Germany international. These players are convinced by the manager, whether people like to admit that or not. They are. Just like a lot of the French players, the high profile French players would have been convinced by the director of football, who is French, Labrie, the
The owner
project.
too, yeah.
So I just personally think we could have leaned into the Bundesliga a lot more. I think we had it there. The players we got from there, you know, pretty useful. So I don't know. I think Tanaka as well in the Bundesliga, the second tier.
Yeah, it's
Season
vital.
before, Gruev was good in the championship for us. You know, Mecha, although he's not had minutes, it's a decent signing on a free. He's probably had Burnley up for him as well. I heard him mention a few other clubs, convinced by the fact that he knows Farke, he knows what we'll get from him, coach in the league, very respected. So I think that's an angle I personally believe we could have gone down more. Really attack that German market. But having said that, I'm not again. I like the players we've got. Just to clarify, I do like the players we've got. I just think we could have brought in one or two more from that market that up us a little bit. Don't know what you think, mate.
Yeah, it's a good win. It was a good window, but in terms of signings, probably we spent too much on certain players, especially in defense and in midfield. But we just missed out on the big spending on like Sunderland did on, and Sunderland did very very good signings too. You know, in terms of price tag, like Gertrude. You know, they spent less than we expected probably on certain players that they signed. You know. But the huge spending that we needed was the right winger, the creative midfielder, and the number 9. And those three, we didn't sign them. So we didn't sign those three. So ultimately, I think our market, our transfer window was good one in terms of signings, but ultimately seeing the players that we didn't sign and the position that we didn't cover, we rely on certain players to overperform. So it was an insufficient window. And like I keep saying, I think it would be a monumental result for us. Like one of those epic Greek tales of the past to stay up, and that would be like all of them will be heroes if we manage to stay up with the squad. Of course, there's the January transfer window when you can help and you know, make amends and sign the players that we didn't sign. You know, that the manager was expecting, but yeah, I agree on the Bundesliga thing too, because I think also the Bundesliga is the league out of the top 5 leagues. You know, so Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, Ligue 1, and Serie A, of course. I think the Bundesliga is the more similar one to the level of intensity and level of physicality that the Premier League has. You know.
Yeah, it's one of them things, mate. Look, I just think it was required, and I agree in the sense that we've done well in the window, but still looking at squads and what we need to achieve to stay up. Everyone needs to overperform in every way. That's from set pieces, which we are doing. Good. I'm so happy we're doing that. I was a big worry. You know, the strikers need to overperform. The midfielders need to overperform, and they're doing really well at doing that. You know, the wingers need to overperform because they're who we've got. They have to get G&A. They have to get goals and assists. They have to create, because that's what we need to stay in this league. We can't just stay in this league by scoring set pieces. We can't just stay in this league by hoping the strikers can score. We have to stay in this league by every single person doing their bit. Now, of course, you know, this comes down to the manager too and the way he plays. But like I said before, I think he's doing all he can at the moment. Obviously, nothing's perfect. People can be criticised. But I go back to what I said of over-criticism. I do think it's over-criticism for the sake of it at times. I do. I just feel like, genuinely, do people think that anyone could do a better job with this squad? And I mean that from a respect. I'm not saying the squad's bad. It's a very competitive squad. But I mean, being more creative with these players. Do people seriously think there's a way to do that? Because I don't see it. If we bring in, if in January, I don't think we will, by the way, I'm just saying it earlier, I don't think we do anything, which, it's going to be a stressful last few months. But if we don't, and say if we do, and we brought in a creative box midfielder, whoever that is, and we brought in a winger, maybe on loan, I don't care, right? And then the manager's not playing them, then you can go, right, we need creation and they're on the bench, then I understand it. Then the criticism is fully there. But for me, he doesn't have them options. Dan James isn't creative. He's quick and direct.
Yeah.
Right? It's not creative. It can create, obviously, but there's a time and a place for that. Again, Nonto, I need more. He's frustrating me, Nonto. He's not playing. I mean, frustrating in the sense that I think he can do more, mate. I think there's more there. It's
He needs
frustrating
to grow into the games, yeah. Because
Yeah.
he hasn't, like I said many times, I like him as a player, but the best we've seen from him was the last season in the Premier League, and that was 2 years
We
ago
need
now.
that.
Yeah, that's the problem. He didn't impress me honestly in the Championship. I expected him to like the league up, but twice, he didn't, because ultimately last season Dan James and Manuel Solomon played more than him in terms of minutes. And that
Yeah.
wasn't down to the manager, it was down to other players performing and stepping up consistently,
This is it, man. This is and this is kind of like not a cry, but my hope for Nonto, because I truly do believe there's a lot of talent in there. Like we saw it when he was so young in the Premier League. If he can come back, obviously it'll be from the other side now, assuming we play it with Okafor. He can still do similar things from that side, I think. If he can come back and provide similar to what he provided when he first arrived in the Premier League, with him on there and Okafor on the other side, that is such a dangerous wing options finally. But for me, there's a lot of pressure on him to do that. I think we require him, because I think he's got a higher ceiling in this league than potentially Dan James, Aronson, and Harrison. I do think there's a lot of hope on him. Maybe that's falsely placed, but that's what we've got. And he is the winger for me, bar Okafor, who can cause the most damage. But he needs to refine that side of him, that form that he had when he was younger. Hopefully, this break has made him realise that. Maybe, the Italian side of it, maybe now he realises, I want to play for the national. I seriously want to get to the World Cup. Whether he will or not, I'm not saying he will. But, in his head, as a footballer,
he needs to,
he's got to believe it, right? And we need to see that side of him. Like for example, I look at Okafor now. Again, I'm not saying he's perfect. He hasn't been. But I know he's fallen out with the manager as well, so it's different. And it's terrible. It's a terrible thing. But you look at like that. You look at Tanaka, for example. Doesn't start for Japan. He wants to play in that World Cup. He wants to start for Japan. Goodmanson, there's so many players. Even Bogle performing at a level where he's saying, I want to be in the shout. I might not get it, but I want to be in the call. I want him to watch me and go, ooh, could we have Bogle in? Perry, again, very difficult. But as
a second or third choice, you can, I think,
Yeah, he'll want to put himself in that position, right? The Welsh lads are fine. They're all right. They don't need to worry about them. They're in the squad.
Leeds at the World Cup. Leeds at the World Cup.
This is what I need.
Practically.
I need them players to do. I need their mindset to be, I want to get in that World Cup squad. And I'm looking at Nonto going, even if that's impossible, in his head, I don't want it to be. I want him in his head to go, I want to do that, and I'm going to do everything I can. So hopefully when he comes back, obviously I'll give him time. He's been injured a while. But hopefully when he comes back and he's fit, we can see that side of him, because I think we need it. I'll be honest.
I hope to, to be fair, because I think the player really has Nonto has talent, but realistically right now he has 6 or 7 players ahead of him in terms of selection. And, honestly, Gattuso is making the right choices. But, for example, I expect to see Chiesa, Palestra, Coyote from Brentford in the next window, honestly, because there's certain players that have been left out. There's even Grifo is still performing at Freiburg, and he doesn't get called up too. So it would be very, very difficult for Willie to get back into the national team camp. To be fair for me, but he needs to think he can make it. To be fair, because if he really keeps performing, that he needs to give a reason to get to that. Why I not calling me up. He needs to really challenge the manager in that case. Yeah, give him reasons to call him up.
That's it, man. That's what they all need to do. And maybe that's why a lot of them are overperforming, because they're looking at that going, I want to keep this team in the league. I want to be a Premier League player next year. And I want to get in that World Cup squad. So hopefully it continues, and hopefully we can help these guys out and the manager in the window. Don't know if we will. I don't know if we can. Hopefully we can get rid of 1 or 2 that aren't impacting the squad. There's news on Bornau. What's gone on there? I said last year his injuries were bad. There's some injuries that he had that just sounded bad. There's one injury, I can't remember what it was called, but the doctor actually did a piece on it, and they said they don't actually know what the resolve is. And
Ah,
I'm thinking,
yeah.
wow, like we signed that player. That worries me.
Mm,
So he's not in the squad. 5 million there. No, James Justin, who, by the way, praise to him, I thought he was very good. Paid a lot of money though. Let's not deny
yeah.
that. Paid a lot of money. So can we get rid of Ball now? Potentially, maybe. We'd have to obviously get another centre back in potentially. But then we're looking at the goalkeeper, Meslier.
Yeah. Need
Talk of him,
to
even if it's a loan, just to get him off the
loan.
squad so we can bring
Yeah.
someone in. These are little things that I think need to
Piro.
happen in January.
Piro too, I think.
Piro's one as well.
I
My
think.
only thing with Piro, mate, is I think from the board perspective, I know that you can't think like this, but obviously you have to be professional and do. If we do go down, it's a perfect
Yeah.
strike to get you back up. But maybe a loan, like you said, to free up that spot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Alone. Yeah, you need to loan him
Yeah,
out like to Eredivisie or in the Championship too,
you
because
do well.
he do
Yeah,
well absolutely, and even I think it will be absolutely massively difficult. But I consider even if we want to bring in another winger, you have Okafor, Harrison, James, Aronson now because he plays like a winger now in this formation. So uh, Okafor, Harrison, Aronson, James, and Yonto. So I think if we want to bring in another winger, I think that you realistically need to get one off, probably get one out. But it will be massively difficult to, I think, even get a loan for Harrison, to be fair.
yeah,
Because you won't
yeah.
want to drop to the Championship, for example, and I don't think there will be many offers from the Premier League because we didn't get we didn't get one in the summer.
Yeah.
So yeah, same situation now.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions to make, and
Yeah,
it's going well at the moment, but we know it's going to get difficult. I've already prepared, mate. The fact is, I've already prepared for the next few games after the next two. We'll be close to the bottom. I've accepted that.
yeah.
If we're not by the end of
Hopefully
it,
not.
I'm happier. But I've
Yeah,
accepted it that we might be. I don't expect us to get anything from the period that's coming up
yeah.
after the next two. But if we do, excellent. So people are going to lose their heads. But if we're being realistic, that's not our fight. If we can just be professional in them games and see what happens, be compact, do what we do well, be aggressive, don't be easy to beat. And then after that is when we have to start picking up points. So I'm accepting that. But yeah, we touched on
Yeah.
Italy there, mate. We want to have a little chat about the differences in support in Italy and the UK. Do you want to
Yeah.
elaborate?
Yeah, just a quick one. I want to ask you, and of course to the listeners, what kind of support you like the most? Of course, people, because it's very different. Of course, I was at a game on Tuesday. A big derby, flares, tifos, banners, even fights before the game because they clash on the highway. Basically the modern away fans went on the no, not the highway, sorry, the provincial uh, one of the provincial big roads behind the south stand, because there is
Right.
even the fiercest side of the ground is called the south stand too at Regina, like it is at Leeds. But they were met by other ultras and they clashed and they stole some banners from them. So yeah, that's the bad side, but it was always part of the culture of Italian football, unfortunately. Because if you went back to the 80s, to the 90s, there were even harsher clashes, But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the ultras in the ground, the flares, the support with all the chanting, the ultras leader with the megaphone launching the chants, and the rest of the ultras following the that side. On the other hand, in England, you have a different kind of support. There's no apart from Crystal Palace and Celtic and Rangers too now, even Boro now. I think you have a different kind of sport where everyone basically, you don't have to be part of an ultras group. Everyone just goes to the away side, for example, on away days, and it's really loud, and everyone can start a chant basically, and you have all kinds of people, kids, old elders, people that have been going for 20, 30 years, and people who have been going for 5, 6 years, teenagers. But then on side, and it's not the case for Leeds, but like you have proper supports, like for example West Ham away. You have other clubs like Man United, for example, very good away, But at home, there's grounds like Liverpool too that are practically silent, because it's not like the away day you have. Oh, it's an away day. You really want to enjoy yourself. There's the part of drinking, the long journey, the pub before the game. Then, of course, you are in basically uncharted territory. So everyone wants to get really behind the team and loud. But in home games, you have grounds that are practically silent on the other hand because they don't have someone launching the chants, and so you just hear the away fans, and it's not the case at Leeds, for example, fortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately. But I think we are just an exception, because you have the South Stand always chanting, getting in the face of the away fans because it's practically one next to each other. But then you also have the Geldert, the Revi Stand, the Cop, singing as well. So it's just an exception. But even historical grounds like Anfield, even in London, Fulham, silent. West Ham, Afton Park, he was fierce and loud. Hostile. London Stadium, very different. Yeah, I'm really split, because I like both. I like both the English culture and Italian culture. But I want to hear your opinion. From probably you've seen many Champions League games of San Siro, AC Milan, Inter Milan.
Yeah,
Those
unbelievable.
ultras for Roma, Lazio. Yeah, what do you think
Yeah,
about that?
and I just want to think, this is my opinion. It's based on, I'm like you said, I love to hear people's comments on this because everyone's from different backgrounds, different experiences growing up.
Yeah.
This is just mine. This is just what I've experienced with my own eyes and ears growing up. So, do you know what it seems to be the biggest difference that's changed in the silence and all that? For me, mate, it's down to the price of everything.
Yeah.
I think it's killed the everyday working man and woman's joy at going to football or the actual chance to go. So, to put it this way, when I was younger, I didn't have a season ticket, but I'd go every other week because my dad could get tickets for 20 quid. And then we'd get a lift off his friend who would take us there, or my dad would drive. Parking was 3 or 2 quid at someone, park outside someone's house. The entire journey would cost 40 quid. Contrast that now, it's 40 to 45 pounds a ticket. So I want to go with my dad. That's 90 pounds just for the ticket. You're paying 6, 7, 8. No, together you're probably paying 10 to 15 pounds for food and drink. Travel by train will cost me 20 to 30 quid return. That's for my dad as well. You combined all that, if you want to get a pint or two, what, 4 or 5 quid per?
Yeah.
Four
No, I get it.
You're looking at one day out to watch the football. It's over 150 quid for me, in my experience. From obviously, I live in Manchester, sadly, but that's the same, I believe, for every single. So and you look at the way most of the world's going in terms of living and the price of it. A lot of people simply can't afford to do that unless you're a season ticket holder and you've been one for years, where obviously you've got your ticket, you pay for it every year. A lot of people that don't have that because they couldn't commit to one because of work or whatever, like my dad. And obviously I played footballs on weekends, so my dad would take me to football. So we never got a season ticket. We'd just go when we could, when the time was different. They've not really got a position. And a lot of them fans are just as loyal and just as loud, just as raucous as season ticket holders. So that's the issue for me. And a lot of them are being replaced by people, who obviously have more money, or I don't know. Well, yeah, have more money, right? People that can afford it.
Yeah.
So those people that, when you look at the football here in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it was predominantly a working class, not always, by the way, it's just my experience. Most people there were working class people who could afford it, and it was their release from a hard day's work, a hard week's work. That Saturday or Sunday, just watching your team, going to the pub with your friends. My dad used to do it. Obviously, I didn't drink because I was a kid, but I'd be there. I'd be just looking at my dad and his mates chatting. I'd be eating my crisps, and I'd go to Welham Road. It was not a worry. You didn't have to save up. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to do that. Everything was, it was easy to do it. It was quick. It was a good experience. Now, I mean, getting to Leeds by train is stressful because they're always cancelled, delayed all the time. Got to get me into that. And then when you get there, the travel to the ground's ridiculous. My dad, he can't walk long distances anymore. So trying to get there is difficult. everything's just costs more. Everything just feels longer, less convenient. And I think that's killed a lot of football atmospheres. I think that's the same everywhere. You know, tourist fans who I don't have a problem with, but I think if they're all replacing the diehard fan, the reaction to that is people are going to watch a spectator sport and not going as a raucous fan, right? They're going to enjoy the game as opposed to going to enjoy the culture of the club. What Leeds have done really well, for the most part, although it's not as good as it used to be, let's be honest, they've maintained a lot of that. And that's what I
Yeah.
really like about Leeds as a city and Leeds as a club. They're good at maintaining that because that's where
Identity,
the
yeah.
best that Leeds United identity is one of the best. It's so good. It's so strong. It's been strong for years. We've got fans from all over the world, but die-hard fans from all over the world, right? You know, I always speak about my girlfriend on here. She's in there. She might hear me, but she's from another country, not a Leeds fan. I had no idea what Leeds was, but since she's been living with me, we watch it together, and she's involved just as much as I am. She screams, she laughs, she cries.
What have you done, Loki? Now
Exactly.
she's gonna share the pain that we all share now.
That's what this culture
Supporting Leeds.
Exactly, and I apologise to her for that. But that's what this club, in not a long period of time, can do to people because it's such a unique club.
Impact.
And I think a lot of clubs have lost their identity. I also think social media has not helped in terms of everyone being obsessed with winning a trophy.
Man City, for example.
You could have a manager that is so good every year. The culture of the club is there. You're playing brilliant football, but you don't win a trophy. Nah, get him out. Like, where's loyalty? Where's trust? Where's that gone in football? You know, and another thing, talking about Man City, when I was a student in Manchester, I could get tickets for Man City on a student website for £10 to go watch a Europa League game. Like, obviously, the pricing's great, but the fact that I could get a ticket, not even being a Man City fan, like, what is going on there? What's the mindset? I don't understand it. You know, it's so strange to me what's going on with football. But in my country, that seems to be, from my experience, and I only speak my experience, that's what the situation is. You know, I want to take my dad to a football game. A lot of them are on the evening now. We can't get trains back. They finish at 10:30, 11 o'clock, so we can't get to the train station. So we have to go for a 3 o'clock kickoff. Oh, look, there's hardly any of them anymore. You know, so it's affecting people's days. It's affecting people's weeks. That Saturday afternoon was perfect for everyone, and that's changing as well. So that's a big thing, mate. But yeah, sorry, I could talk on for hours about this, but I'll leave
It's
it there.
good listening.
What I was going to ask you, in Italy, has that changed or is that the same? What it was, say, 10, 15 years ago?
No, it's changed in a certain sense that I think after COVID, you know, people have started to pack the stadiums again. But yeah, there's not many benefits in terms of match day experience. You know, of course, you still have your traditions. You know, the meet with your friends throughout the day. But in terms of match day experience, we have stadiums who are very old, inadequate. Not the case here in Reggio Emilia, of course, but in many other grounds now it's different. We had scandals like in the curvas. You know, there've been of course infiltrations and from criminals. You know, like in Milan. You know, there's been inquiries basically. So they showed that in the main cities like Milan and Roma, there were like other interests in the curva, you know, in a certain sense. But I think the everyday experience inside the ground in the province, like I live in the province, of course, what we call the province is outside of the big towns like Naples, like Milan, like Rome, is still the same. I think we're seeing many of the younger generations starting to repack the stadiums. When I was growing up, that was not the case. People either supported Juve, AC Milan, or Inter Milan. You know, mainly, especially in the provincial cities. You know, but now I think the reattachment to your local club is starting to gather again. There's still a problem with the prices, especially in Serie A, especially, for example, for very inadequate away sections, away ends. In inadequate grounds, people can spend up to 45 euros, you know, and there's like some ultras that boycott some stadiums when they have to go there on an away day because they just say that the price for the ticket is too much, so they boycott that, and even the local fans join in, do the local roads like with banners, uh, popular prices for popular sectors, But yeah, overall, I don't think it's that change like it has in the Premier League, with all the seated stadiums and higher prices because it is an higher product. I think it's still popular in a certain sense because why? Because of the ultras, ultimately because you have um, the experience, and that's what the league, the Lega Serie A, and they don't get that because the only way to promote Italian football is not by playing a game because San Siro is occupied by the Winter Olympic Games, like they will do with AC Milan Como, and play that in Perth, Australia, because we will expand our markets and bring in new fans from Australia. These new fans from Australia will watch the Serie A if they're interested anyway on the TV. We are probably the league out of the top 5 with the less TV rights from abroad, from outside of Italy, in terms of income, in terms of TV rights. So that's why you need to walk into, and exploit from, because I think CBS are doing a great job with Italian football TV too, Marco Messina, for example, and Italian Americans, because you have a huge Italian American population, huge Italian Argentine population, Italian Australian, outside. We don't have many broadcasters abroad, unfortunately, but you need to really explain abroad to nurture and really show that every club here has a different history, a different following, a different traditions. It's like the Middle Ages, where every city in Italy basically had a different ruler, a different, way of government. We still have a lot of campanilism. We call it, like very a rivalry between nearby cities, but it's really a fierce rivalry like it was back in the past, in the Middle Ages. It's at everyday life rivalry, not just in football. There's like, if you ask from someone from where I come from to go to work in Parma, they won't say I work in Parma. They say I work there. They won't say I work in Parma. I work there, or even in Modena. I work on the other side of the river. It's that fierce. It's that fierce. It's everyday life. Even there's even a rivalry between like cuisine, the singers, uh, like, for example, Modena and Bologna are huge rivals. Because Modena has the Ferrari and Bologna has Lamborghini, Ducati, all that kind of stuff, even motors, So yeah, it's still popular though. But the problem is the league doesn't put the fans first, and I think we are the only league apart from Juventus and Prime, the only league that didn't spend or try to get a club to do a special like they did with All or Nothing with Tottenham, Man City, Leeds. Now Marcel with Ligue 1. You have La Liga, you have and Bayern Munich, Borussia on Netflix, on Prime. You really need to show what Italian football and the culture really is about, because there's a lot of misconceptions, and the only way to do that is by promoting and investing in the marketing. Up to 1 or 2 years ago, I think we even had an Italian speaker managing the English account of the league with many grammar mistakes, there. And I remember there was, and I now think he works for a club too. It was this Irishman living in Parma. I remember Connor, it was his name. I used to follow him on Twitter. He used to put out every time, the grammar mistakes of the English account managed by an Italian on Twitter. I think he works for Juve now. I think, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. See, this is it. It's that word culture, football culture, and you can spread culture out beyond everything, beyond football, everything. Culture is so important to everyone, and it should be. It's your identity. It's what you love. It's what you grew up loving. It's what you believe in. So to keep that in football in its own little ecosystem is so important. And look, like I said, I think most clubs in this country, one of the clubs that has, kind of kept that culture the best, that are high in the leagues, is Leeds. I genuinely believe that. Every time I haven't been this season, but I am trying to. It's very difficult with the amount of tickets that are. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about my luck in the balance. But every time I walk to Ellen Road, it still feels the same. That's not changed one bit. I still feel like a kid. You get the smells of the food stalls, the people with the scarves. I always, with the dads, with the daughters, or the sons on the shoulders walking up. That's what my dad used to do when I was younger, going over the bridge. Everything's still the same. Walking up them stairs and looking at the pitch, I still tingle. That's not changed. And I don't want that to. I don't want it to feel like I'm not going into a Leeds game. My favourite time, mate. I mean, I remember the early 2000s, but I was very young. I only slightly remember that. So I used to sit behind the goal, right behind the goal. And yeah, it was amazing. I didn't even know the results. I didn't even care. Just being there, listening to the songs, seeing my favourite players kick a football was everything I needed in football. And it was the same in League One. I used to go all the time in League One. That was my days. That's when I went the most. We weren't great. We were 1 or 2 seasons, obviously. But we weren't always great. It was up and down. League One, early Championship. We weren't great,
Yeah.
But
we'll touch them very soon.
But I loved it. I didn't care if we won or lost. Obviously, I was annoyed if we lost. But I was like, Gradle was good today. Becchio was quality. I love Becchio, Dad. Dad's like, yeah, he's quality, isn't he? He's from Argentina. Oh, that's sick. Like that's football to me. And it's the same now. I just want to go watching on TV. I hate it when we lose when I watch on TV. But if I'm at the stadium, at least I'm there. At least I felt the experience again. At home, when you watch on TV, you don't feel that experience. And then you lose. Oh, that's brutal. But even when we lose, when I'm there, at least I'm there. At least I'm watching it. At least I'm watching these players. So at least I still got that feeling walking up the steps, seeing the pitch for the first time. That never changes.
Oh, it never changes, man. Always.
That's the best thing. And I just want growing up in a small town where no one's got a lot of money, I want everyone who grew up in that situation to still be able to feel that, whichever club that is.
Yeah.
People that don't have a lot of money, I want them to still be able to walk up the stairs in their stadium and go at the top. As opposed to these people that get flown over in private jets or spend £1,000 and don't even know.
I don't.
You can be from anywhere. Like I said, Leeds has fans in every country. I mentioned my girlfriend.
Yeah, I know.
She really wants to go there, and she would sing as loud as anyone, I promise. She won't know all the words.
I was talking about the private jets.
Yeah. But anyway, that's why I love this club, mate. I love Leeds. It's everything. I know you feel the same as well. It's everything.
Yeah,
to you.
absolutely, man. It's about identity.
What we're going to do?
Yeah, it's the most difficult part now. We've gone to the most fun but also difficult part for.
Do you want to bring it up, Andrea?
Yeah, it's time. It's like people will enjoy this, I'm sure. Honestly, people will really enjoy this.
We're going to test that knowledge with a quiz.
Here we are. Yeah.
So what we've got to do in this quiz is we have to name a Leeds player.
Yeah.
And we have to fill out all the 11s from 1981 to current. Now, however, if we name a player, for example, Luke Ayling, he will pop up in each team he was in where he got the most appearances in that position.
Yeah, in terms of minutes played, that season. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we'll start, of course, from it's 25 minutes, but I think we can go pretty fast because I think we have a good knowledge up to probably the early 2000s. But after that, I think the thing is gonna get probably more difficult for us. So we will give up at a certain point. But I think if we get around 60-70% of them, will still be a good result. That we'll be happy to,
Yeah, everyone. In. What's the website, Andrea? Just so people
can... It's a Sporkle. Yeah, it's a good website. You have plenty of quizzes. From my memory, I usually play the football ones. So they are very good, and also the history ones. I also learned a lot. Because there's also the history ones where you can probably like World War II, what happened chronologically. Like you have to fill out. I'm this nerd. That's my nerd side. Yeah.
So I'll put it in the description. So if people want to pause this and play it, or they want to play it with us, or watch us and just do it themselves afterwards, I'll put it in the description for everyone. It's going to be fun. Andrea's going to pull me through this. But anyway.
Yeah, I think we can say like one name each, pretty fast, So, do 8 play? Yeah.
The 80s.
No. Let's start from the present. Yeah. Okay, play. Let's scroll and here we are. Yeah, from now. Now we have the.
Right, we'll start with it. So Aronson.
Yeah, Aronson. Yeah.
I'm gonna say double A in first.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, Darlow so far played more minutes than Perry.
Bogle,
Rodon.
Yeah. Rodon, Strout.
Strauk, yeah. Gudmundsson,
Gabby, yeah.
yeah. Longstaff,
Longstaff,
Big Eaton,
Ooh,
yeah. Stack, of course.
Stack.
The Calvert-Lewin,
yeah.
and
Well,
Okafor, yeah. So we filled one. Okay, yeah. We filled one season. Yeah, last season.
last
Melia,
season. Mez, yeah. Fairport,
yeah. Ao,
Ao Tanaka, yeah.
Dan James,
yeah.
Pirot,
Hero,
and Solomon, yeah.
Solomon. I thought it was the
Okay.
Argentinian flag then. I was like, who's
Nah,
that?
nice. This Israeli one with the Star of David.
I
Yeah,
thought it was Argentina. I was like, wait, what?
yeah. It was
Right.
Becky still playing for us.
I know, I was confused.
So the
Right.
season before, Archie Gray. Yeah,
So this is first season of the championship, right?
yeah, exactly.
Gruev,
Kamara,
Kamara,
Crusencio, yeah,
yeah.
and Samville, and yeah,
And
Jorginho.
Rector. Oh,
No,
is that,
France, yeah,
looks green on here.
yeah. Oh, that horrible season now.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, wow.
Ailing.
Actually, I'm going to just scroll down slightly. Just so it's like a bit more, no, live away, sorry.
Like this.
Yeah. Just so, oh, yeah, it's fine,
Ailing.
Right. Ailing.
Oh, look at that. Basically every
Wow,
season.
look at that. What a guy.
What a guy, yeah.
Rasmus,
yeah. German flag, Robin Koch. Yeah. Oh, that player, Tyler Adams. Yeah. Spanish, Mark Roca. Yeah.
Roca, yeah.
I think Harrison. Harrison Lockie, yeah.
Yeah. We haven't got Harrison yet. Yeah.
Good one, Harrison.
And who's on the other side?
No, the striker we have, Spanish one, Rodrigo.
Oh, Rodrigo.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Season before, of course. I'm gonna leave the Brazilian to you, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. We'll do it. We'll do that in a minute. Centre back Llorente.
Yeah, Llorente. Yeah, Northern Ireland. That's that one, because they don't have a flag.
Okay.
Yeah, Dallas.
Stewie D. Gonna pop up everywhere.
Yeah, Polish.
Mateus.
Yeah. And of course, the big man, Rafinha. Yeah.
The man, the myth.
Bielsa season.
Right, we're getting a little more thingy now.
Yeah. Cooper.
So this is first season in the Prem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cooper.
Exactly.
Alioski.
Yeah.
KP.
Yeah.
And
Paddy Bamford, I think. Let's try. Yeah.
Smashed it. Right.
Season before then, Spanish keeper, of course.
This is the promotion season.
Yeah, Kiko.
Yeah. Yeah, Kiko.
Ben White.
Yeah.
Even AD White popped up because of the surname. Yeah.
Oh, get in.
Yeah. Because if they have the same surname, they pop up just one. Yeah.
Field. Costa.
Yeah, Costa. Spanish. Hernandez. Yeah.
Yeah. The goat. My goat.
I think
this is this.
Peacock Farrell, Northern Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the season we failed to get promoted.
Yeah. Swedish flag. Yeah. Pontus, of course.
Yeah.
Welsh
midfielder.
Yeah, I know JT will know that one. Tyler Roberts.
Oh yeah, he's Welsh. Forgot he was Welsh.
Yeah.
Winger. English.
No, striker. Forward.
Sorry.
Yeah. We already had Bamford, so I think he's gonna be no, it's the season after Nketiah. Yeah. Kemal Roof. I think.
Oh yeah, he was there, wasn't he?
3 seasons. Yeah.
I used to love Roof.
Yeah.
Right. 17-18, which started great and ended terrible.
Yeah.
Keeper is Weidveld. I don't know his name. That.
Yeah. I remember. No word.
DF
Petrano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Berardi.
Oh, Berardi. Yeah.
Midfield is what's his face? Forshaw?
Let's try. No.
No. Ooh.
Uh,
I'm trying to think.
Ronaldo.
Oh, Vieira. Yeah, of
Maybe.
course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Winger.
Spanish.
Sorry, not winger, midfielder.
Uh,
Uh,
Samu.
Saiz.
Saiz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My brain
Good.
then. God.
Yeah.
Of
I have
course, I forget
good
Samu.
memory. Good memory. Yeah.
Right,
So
16, 17.
Gary Monk season. This one.
Gary Monk season. Right.
I
Chris
remember
Wood.
I did.
Chris Woods.
Yeah.
Chris
Wood.
Yep.
Yes.
Is that
That
Ekuban?
is
No.
no Ekuban is gain, and I think that's Mali flag. I think. So that should be Adisako, I think.
Hadisako, yes. I thought it was
Yes,
French.
come on.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's difficult.
Right, Bartley,
Bartley, yeah. Charlie Taylor.
Taylor,
We are too good,
goalkeeper.
man.
Green?
We are too.
Was that?
Yeah, Paul Green too.
Yeah, no, I had him. I was thinking of Paul Green in my head. I think I'm going to say Paul Green. Like I don't need to. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rob Green. He was great in that season for me. I used to love
Yeah.
watching. He was very good. Right.
Then
15, 16.
section. My fellow Reggio Emilia born Silvestri.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then of course the great late Solbamba.
Bamba, yeah. Right. So what we've got here? We've got midfield. Chris Wood, who was on the Scottish.
Italian Antenucci. Should be Antenucci, I think.
Antonucci, yeah.
Yes. Luis Cook, mate. Yeah.
15, 16, yeah. Midfielder.
Scottish.
Why do I feel like this one's obvious?
I was thinking about what's the other one. Should we try for the English one, Alex Mowat? Britcott can be bring. Yeah, man, go on.
Pulled that one out,
Difficult one. Let's try Mowat. No, it wasn't the previous ones. 15, 16. I don't know. Let's move on. Let's move on the previous season. We will get back to that probably.
15, 16.
15, 16. He played as a winger. Sam Byram.
They haven't done that.
Yeah. No, it's not Byram. It's not Byram. Who's that?
That's going to annoy me. Anyway, we'll come back to me.
Yeah, move on. Let's move on.
Right. 14, 15. Rudy Austin, straight away. Get him in. My guy, Rudy Austin.
Rudy. Oh, I know the player, man. I know the player. Luke Murphy. Because I think even the season before. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
Belushi.
I'll let you put your Italian.
No, I don't like him.
Fullback.
I have a name in mind. Great player, but no, I'm joking, of course. Scott Wootton. Yeah.
I was thinking Peltier, yeah.
Peltier, I think the previous season. Let's try.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the season before, yeah.
See, this is it for me. Like between 14 and like 10, it's all similar. Like my brain's just players everywhere, right? Right.
I think
13.
the Scottish one, it's pretty clear who it is, I think.
Ross McCormack, yeah.
Ross McCormack, yeah.
What a player.
Then Matt Smith, played together. Yeah. So we get Alan Smith even from the previous season too, I think.
Nice.
Up front. The keeper is Paddy Kenny, Irish, of course, born in Halifax. Friend of Joe.
Where I'm from as well.
Yeah, where you're from as well too.
True. Benzies. We've got Bartley. That was after. Before that, I think.
Stephen Warnock. Was that the season? Yeah, I think so. Because I remember a game against Brighton, maybe the first game. That was the season when Luke Murphy scored.
Yes, it might be. Yeah.
Warnock.
Centre backs. Who was the centre backs?
Jason Pierce.
Pierce.
Yeah.
Naylor? Or is that before? Is Naylor? But Naylor's earlier.
No, Naylor I think is before. I think it's.
Yeah, it's a few years
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. A
See,
few
that's
years
my
before.
era there. I've got that team. I know that team.
Yeah.
Who's Jason Pierce?
Tom Lees.
Tom
Probably.
Lees, of course. Yeah.
I have a
Jeff
good memory.
Years, yeah. Do mate. Right.
Of course.
Attackers.
We still have one left though in attack. That's always the winger. The winger is always.
That's hard because they're all rubbish. Oh no, he's before. He's before, isn't he? He's not even English.
Say the name though. Say the name.
No, it'll come up soon. I'm looking for him. Where is he?
Wait,
what? I'm looking for Scottish flags. I'm not seeing it.
No. No, it's not good. Had already left. I think it's not good. It's not good. Said already left.
He's in the one after. We can put him anywhere. We can put him.
Yeah, it's not. It's not
Fill up there. It's not yet.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Before.
What a man.
Then the Senegalese one, Diouf. I think the season before.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that one later on. Brown. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Then Tong, of course, because I remember Brown and Tong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke Varney. Yeah.
Nice. God, he played a lot, didn't he?
Yeah. Argentina, of course.
11,
Can only
12.
be one man. Yeah.
What a guy. Right.
The Australian one is Paddy, for sure.
Kisnarbo, what a guy. I absolutely love him. Who've we got? So we've filled all them up. We're now here.
Lonergan, the keeper, was that season.
Lonergan, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was fullback?
I remember when we went up, because I remember those were the season where I really started to get many games in Italy through Sport Italia, and there was Paul Connolly and Bromby, those seasons, I can try Bromby, let's try Bromby, but I think he had already left. So, yeah, it was in League One. Connolly might be Connolly. Yeah, come on.
Connolly. That's it. Midfield. Who was in midfield with Michael Brown?
I remember because it was the season, that one, that when we scored the late one at Upton Park, and I remember Adam Clayton. Yeah.
Clayton. Yeah.
And Johnny Housen was still at the club,
Johnny
of course.
So, yeah. What is?
And it was not him though. It wasn't.
Clayton Housen. Oh, Johnson. No, has he left by then?
Yeah. Yeah, really.
See, I know that. 29-10, we're good.
Who's that one? 11-12. Danny Pugh.
Danny Pugh. Yeah. Were you still there then?
Yes, he was the man even then.
Danny Pugh.
Brilliant.
What a guy, right? Where we're next?
We got all of them, by the way. We still have 11 minutes left, by the way.
We're doing well.
Because there's a timer, there's a countdown. I don't know if you realize there's a countdown.
Oh, I didn't even realize. We'll smash these out. Right. Schmeichel.
Yeah.
Let me.
Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce.
Oh, Brian. Kilkenny, yeah.
No, Kilkenny's the year before. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
No, right one. It was the right one, man.
Right. O'Brien.
Maxi Gradle.
Gradle. Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah. I thought them flags were the same. Yeah, it's the other side. They look the same. My eyes are deceiving me.
The Northern Irish. Oh, I think we got him on loan from. He used to play for West Ham. George.
Was he in just that year? Yeah.
Yeah, that year. George not McCormack, of course.
McCartney.
McCartney.
Yes,
man. Come on.
I was close. I said McCarthy, but I said McCartney, but we were close.
Yeah. Then, of course, obviously, Danish keeper, not Schmeichel. So it's Ankergren. Yeah.
Yeah. Fullback or defender.
That's the year we went up. Bristol Rovers. Not Richardson, because he was like in the previous season, I think. Of course. Yeah. He had already left by then. He was playing for Southampton, I think. Beckford up front.
Beckford, yeah, we've got
Yeah.
Beckford. Midfield.
Michael Doyle. Yeah.
What a name. Who's that defender then?
Let's move on. Probably it'll appear. Probably
I don't know.
the it's bad. It was the season we went up to. Can't remember. Sorry. It's not Ben Parker because I think it's Park. Yeah, the season before Ben Parker. So
I don't know, mate.
I cannot remember. Then we have when we lost against Millwall semi-final season before 2018, 2008, 2009.
Where did Hughes play?
Who?
Hughes. I don't know how you spell it.
Yeah, man, brilliant. Andy Hughes.
That name, Andy Hughes. Andy Hughes.
Yeah, I remember him because I thought you were saying like Fuchs with Fuse. I
right.
didn't get the name. So right. Angola, it's Rui Marcus for sure.
Yeah.
Johnny Douglas, the Irish one.
Yeah.
Can't remember. Not Proton because I think Proton was before. Yeah.
Proton was before.
Andy Robinson. Yes. Put Robinson too up front. Yeah, let's move on. So because we have the Delph. Yes, man.
I used to love Delph. How could we forget Fabian Delph?
Yeah, we have to focus.
One of my favourite players. Yeah, it's crazy.
we have to focus. Slovakia.
A little bit now.
Mikalik. Yeah.
Yeah.
France. Seth Carroll. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's that one? I think we know. Bataka, right?
Yeah, Trezor Cando. He could play for Brazil.
Trezor Bataka. I thought it was Bataka.
He should play for Brazil, yeah.
Where was Bataka from?
Botaka? Oh, yeah, for the same nation. It's on the same nation, yeah. DR Congo.
Yeah, right, okay. I went far off then.
Then,
right.
The season we went relegated with the Ipswich game too. Lots of problems behind the scenes too. David Healy, Northern Ireland.
Healy. Yeah. I thought it was like before.
There's an American one, so Eddie Lewis, I think.
Eddie Lewis.
Yeah. Westlake. That I remember when we signed Poveda, they said finding another Ian after Ian Westlake. So I think it's
goalkeepers. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Scotland. Stephen Craney.
6, 7.
I think the dad of Charlie Cresswell too. Yeah. The other one, it's either Rob Hulse or Robbie Blake. Let's try. Hulse and then Blake. Yeah. Okay.
Defender.
Sean Derry. Yes. Not Paul Butler. Sean Gregan.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm stuck with that one.
No.
5, 6. Goalkeeper.
Yeah. David Sullivan. Neil Sullivan, not David Sullivan.
So, yeah, that'll be a few as well.
Yeah.
Be a few, we've got 5 minutes.
Yeah. Butler.
Yeah.
Keith Gallen. And I already mentioned Douglas. Yeah. Yeah. Gary Kelly, man.
Oh, you're still there? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Aaron Lennon, season before.
Lennon.
Youngster.
I love Aaron Lennon. Milner, he's around here, isn't he? Will he be there, though?
Yeah, the season before.
Yeah, of course.
Viduka.
Obviously, Viduka. And...
Yeah.
The other one. Yeah. Right. This is
Ian Hart.
Hart. Yeah. This is where the legendary names come in, isn't it? This is where you just type them in.
Yeah. Just say names. Just say name because we have 4 minutes. Just say name, Lockie.
My brain.
Keane.
what's it called? The Norwegian one. Back.
Bakke.
Backer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don Matteo.
Don Matteo.
Radebe.
Radebe. Yeah. Hasselbank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bridges.
Yeah. Speed.
Yeah. Before.
Yeah.
Martin.
Nigel
Boyer.
Martin. Yeah. Boyer.
Woodgate.
Yes. Yeah.
McPhail in that season there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
French, Dacourt, of course.
Yeah.
Ferdinand, of course.
Yeah.
And the other one.
Yeah. Was no Cantona, is there?
No, Cantona not played many games, so I don't think he'll pop up. That can try, but no.
No.
Batty.
My dad would, yeah, of course. So many players that I'm just going. Do you know what it is now, mate? My OCD. I'm just looking everywhere. I can't focus. There's too many.
Alfie Haaland, I think.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right.
What's the Portuguese midfielder? What's it called?
Ribeiro. Yeah, I was writing something about this era recently, so that's why I remember all of them. Yeah, also the other one, Gunnar Hall, I think. The other Norwegian one, yeah. Lukic.
What's the
legendary goalkeeper? Chapman.
English. Chapman. Yeah.
McAllister, of course, I think.
McAllister.
Strachan, then. Yeah, the Scottish one.
Yeah.
Rod Wallace, of course.
Rod Wallace.
Brian Dean. I remember Joe talking about him like in the podcast he went to. So Yeboah, of course. Yeah.
Yeboah. I thought we'd already said him. Yeah, Yeboah.
No. Weatherall, yeah.
Yeah, see, this is where your knowledge comes in.
Dorigo.
Sterling. I want to get that 98-99 one done.
Scottish. I think I know them, man. Molinar and Hopkin.
Of course.
Yes, man.
Molinar, yeah.
God. Yeah, you see, I'm totally a nerd, because I know practically the majority of players I've never seen play, basically. Then going back, pretty sure this one is Carlton Palmer. Yeah. Let's fill out, because we have 1 minute. Let's fill out the title-winning season.
Right. Who we got?
I think we have White and Fairclough. Yes.
Yeah, Chris Fairclough, of course.
Previous season, honestly, I think I will struggle there. I'll just type names that I know. Look at them at the start, the 80s. Eddie Gray, Frank Gray. I think also Lorimer. Yeah. Harvey probably too. Because they went back, to finish their careers off back then,
Yeah.
Sheridan. Day. Hazelwood. The famous B sign that he threw at the cup, Then 42 seconds. We're relying totally on me on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, we are in trouble then. Dennis Irvin, yeah. Terry Connor, yes.
Yeah.
There's a Scottish player up there, bloody hell. Vinnie Jones, yeah.
Of course.
Carl Schatt, yes. Whitlow, yes. 13 seconds. Bayard. Snowden, 86 seconds. No, 3, 2, 1.
Who have we missed?
So
anyone that I'm screaming I should have known.
Let's go back.
All them, we smashed them, obviously.
Matt Eat.
I wouldn't have known that.
Clark Carlisle, Jermaine Wright.
Clark Carlisle. Pennant,
man, yeah. And Duberry too, because he was a substitute in the previous seasons.
I used to
I
love
think
Jermaine Pennant. Ian Rush.
Lee
Lee
Sharp too.
That's who I was
Yeah.
thinking. Lee Sharp. Yeah.
David Robertson,
Robertson.
Pemberton,
I didn't get
Worthington.
Pennant. That's annoyed me.
Yeah, Newsom scored
Newsom.
a goal in the game that we won at Bramall Lane when we won the league. So pretty notorious. Then I think this one, yeah, Addock, Davison, Hilaire, Aspin, people that probably went to those games will know them, but of course many of them we don't know. I know Brendan Osby, for example, and Neil Aspin, but Andy Ritchie too, and Pearson. Yeah, other ones. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with. Probably these ones, like the Arthur Graham. Yeah, Arthur Graham, I know him. Trevor Sherry, Kenny Burrs. Yeah, I know him.
Trevor Sherry. Yeah, I know Trevor Sherry. Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
How many? 87%, man.
That's pretty
even
good.
exceeded expectations. Average score is 48% though, so I think we did pretty.
Jermaine Pennant was one of my favourite players for a little period. I can't, because he was a winger. I love wingers when I was younger. I'm fuming I didn't get him.
Do you want to play top 11's Bolton Wanderers?
I could probably get about 10, to be fair.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Diouf.
Juve.
Yeah. So lads, if you want to play this one.
Well, you carried the 90s and the 80s.
Yeah. Top 11's Leeds United.
I had a few clutch names in there that came off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun though. It's so fun because you see, look at these teams, man. Look at the quality we had back then.
Yeah.
I mean, Viduka, Smith, Kewell, Boyer, Dacour, Bakke, Hart, Matteo, Mills, Kelly, and the season after too.
No, yeah, sorry. So 02, 03 was my first game I watched.
This one.
Yeah. No,
the year I got my first FIFA.
01 or 2. 01 or 2 would have been my.
This one.
Yeah.
When we were top of the league at Christmas, I think, and then we slipped. That was the first season you saw. Yeah. But look at the difference between like when we stayed up at Highbury and the season after. Look at them. Okay, you have Pennant, very good player, but like look at the defense. You had Mills and Radebe, and then you have Zuma Nakamura and Duberry at centre back. Look at the
first game I remember was against Valencia at Ellen Road. Was that the 01 or 2 season?
No, it's this one.
That was my first year then. That was my first year.
Yeah.
No,
this one. Sorry, this one. 99, 20, 2000, I think.
Oh, it definitely worked that one. 1 minute, let me check. We played him. I think it might have been a friendly then. Let me have a look.
No, I'm mixing up. I think this one was the Champions League season, 2000, 2001, and it was the semi-final against Valencia. Right. Then the season before, it's when we went on the UEFA Cup run, and unfortunately, the tragedy that happened in Istanbul, of course.
Yeah. Okay. My first league game, I'm fairly sure. So this is my dates are. My first league game, I'm pretty sure, was a home game against Southampton or Sunderland.
In this one.
Yeah. I believe it was earlier. It was early in the season. Yeah, it was a 0-0.
Look at the team though.
Draw. Wednesday, the 2nd of May, 2001.
2nd of May 2001. So it is this season.
It was that season, yeah.
Yeah. Look at the team, man. Martin, Kelly, Mills, Matteo, Hart, Bakke, Dacour, Boyer, Kewell, Smith, and Viduka.
That was my first introduction, yeah. And obviously watched a lot of the 02, 03 season. That was probably the season I saw most.
Yeah.
Maybe then going on to 03, 04 as well. A lot in there. Then kind of went back around 07, 08. Because obviously played football and stuff, so it was difficult. My dad's work and situations as well.
The 15 points.
From them onwards till about 2013 when I started college, I saw a lot of Leeds. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the seasons I started to really get familiar with Leeds were those ones because, like I said to you, my first FIFA was this one, FIFA Football 2003. And I remember there was Leeds, and they really had a good. I like to play with them, honestly. but I still wasn't a supporter, of course, because I
Right.
started to like them because there was these, like I mentioned it many times in the past, this magazine covering also foreign football
yeah.
called Guerin Sportivo. So apart from video games, but I got some games. I remember watching some games because I had the Telepew back then, the ancient Sky, basically the TV that got replaced by Sky back then, and they used to
Right.
show many games of the Premier League, but I can't remember them honestly. To be fair, I remember you could check the results of foreign leagues like in these seasons,
Right.
but the proper season I started to follow were these ones basically because there were games shown in Italy, and also the Leeds United came out during this season, and it was distributed in Italy. I remember watching the movie, and everybody said, "Oh, I really like Derby County." They were really treated badly. I remember, no, I like Leeds, the bad guys. But
Yeah,
yeah, after that, I
absolutely.
watched every season basically after that consistently, even through every meaning basically, and I mean it because
Of
the
course.
games were never shown, were not always shown in Italy, and I had to listen to Yorkshire radio to
Tell you what though,
yeah,
that was the team
yeah,
there. The 010 11 from 08 to 09 to 010 11. That was the team that I absolutely loved. That was the team that got me into
yeah,
absolutely loving Leeds. Like when I was older, obviously. Just them
man,
players there. Just looking at all them names, going, "Oh wow, he was amazing." Paddy Kisnobo, amazing. I'm just looking here like Snodgrass, Delph, Howson, Andy Robinson, even like
yeah.
Becky on Beck. Like I'm just looking at Grado, one of my favourite ever. Bradley Johnson, Kilkenny. Like, it's just to me,
This,
that's my era of like
yeah,
great.
yeah. I battle many friends with this team in FIFA too. But yeah, apart from that, I remember watched like some games in this season. I think there was the one when David De Somma scored
Yeah,
in the championship, Swansea. Cannot remember, but this team, if we had we were clinical in certain moments of the season, we would have gone with the double, in my opinion, because the quality was there already. Because Snodgrass played,
so
of course,
close.
we were so close to the playoff that season, but Snodgrass, Hausen, Johnson, Gradle, Schmeichel, all of them had great careers after that, So it was
Great
we
manager
were
as well.
unlucky, Yeah. But
Loved him.
you are a true Leeds fan if you
Yes.
stayed loyal to the team through these seasons, honestly, because those
That's
were,
when I was most involved. That's the sad thing.
yeah.
That was my era.
GFH,
Yeah.
GFH, all the players sold to Norwich, Steve Morrison
Yeah.
coming to the other side, Adam Drury too.
Anyway.
Remember, yeah,
Oh yeah. Hope everyone enjoyed
87%.
that.
Yeah,
I'll take that. Thank you for clutching the 80s and 90s, Andrea.
don't
But
worry,
I'll
don't
take
worry.
that. We smashed that out. Like, yeah, that was good fun. Anyone
Yeah.
obviously wants to do it, see if you can beat us, but you know the results now, so cheating. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed that. Of course, leave comments as usual, all that good stuff. Thank you for all support. And we'll see you guys next week where we'll have some more stuff to chat about. Thank you, everyone. See you in a bit. Bye bye.
Thanks, lads.